All right. What is up, Big 12 fans? This is Joseph back with the Utah Utes Football Digest. And it is final. Arizona State loses to Texas in the college football playoff in a heartbreaking loss. So much fun to watch, so exciting. Felt like there were moments where Arizona State, in one specific moment, where Arizona State was going to seal this deal, going to get it done, going to finish the game. What a heartbreaker for Arizona State fans. And even as a Big 12 fan, I was pulling for you guys. I wanted you to win so damn bad, right? One of the four corner schools. And what a Cinderella story that could have been. But they weren't able to pull it off, guys. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about what we saw. Before we get into it, smash that like button. That's going to help get the video out to more Utah fans and Big 12 fans and Arizona State fans. Also, comment down below. What did you guys think of the game? What was the coaching screwing up for Arizona State? Were they just overmatched by Texas? I want to hear what you're thinking. Also, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We put out a ton of Utah Utes football content and Big 12 content. So if you're into that, make sure you stick around, hit that notification bell. Let's go ahead and dive in. Let's talk Arizona State versus Texas. Okay, guys, quickly, let's go ahead and walk through this game and talk about how this actually went score by score. So early on, Arizona State gets the field goal. You're feeling good, right? It's not, you'd prefer a touchdown, but as an Arizona State or Big 12 fan rooting for Arizona State, you're like, okay, at least they went out there and put points up on the board. Then they throw the touchdown for Texas. And then very shortly after, you look at this, it's like a minute of playtime later, they run back a punt return for a touchdown with previous Oregon State transfer Silas Bolden. That was, it was not a good spot for Arizona State at that point. Texas 22-yard field goal. But then Arizona State drives all the way down the field, almost scores, and they don't score. They turn the ball over on downs, but they do get a safety on Texas, and you're feeling decent about it. Arizona State drives down the field again and almost punches it in, but has to settle for a field goal. Looks like they're really fighting. And as we look earlier in this game, guys, there were so many moments where Arizona State drove down the field. Like they had drives, right? Texas was formidable. They were putting up points and they were clicking and looking good when they had the ball. But Arizona State was driving down the field. It felt like there were some, in my opinion, ill-advised fourth down calls. Like there were some where it's like, okay, like go for it, do what you have to do. But there was others where it felt like no need to go for it on fourth down, just kick the field goal. But then we keep going here, guys. Quinn Ewers big touchdown run. And look at this, guys. 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter, 24-8, Arizona or for Texas. You were thinking at this point, there's a really good shot this game's over. At least I was in my head, like, man, Arizona State really hung in there for a while, but kind of like Boise State last night, just couldn't hang in there for a full four quarters and is out of the game now. But then they are able to finish it with a huge, crazy play from Cam Scattaboo to McLean for a 42-yard TD pass from Scattaboo to McLean. And then Scattaboo has a huge 2-yard touchdown run, 2-point conversion. They knock it in there. Crazy, crazy, awesome stuff. And then Texas drives, and Texas has a chance to close it with the field goal. Texas misses the field goal, and we are going into overtime 24-24. This is such an awesome game, so much momentum. Everyone's on the seat, or on the edge of your seat. It is so freaking intense, so wild. And then we go into overtime. Cam Scattaboo, 3-yard touchdown run off a huge third down by Sam Levitt. Sam Levitt scrambles and it was like 3rd and 15, something like that. And Sam Levitt scrambles and gets the first down. I mean, it was a huge play by Sam Levitt. And then what happens is Texas goes fourth down and 13. It looks like Arizona State is about to win this college football playoff game, and it's about to be over. And then 4th and 13, they run cover 0, send the house. And Quinn Ewers picks them apart, wide open guy over the top in the end zone, and touchdown Texas. And Texas gets the ball back, scores immediately. And Arizona State throws an interception to end the game. Such a heartbreaker of a loss, guys. Oh man, but what a fun game that was to watch. In a second here, I'm going to go ahead and talk about what I liked, what I didn't like from Arizona State, but there was a lot of guys. We'll look at some player stats. Let's take a look at that next. Okay, guys, and here's the box score. So this is going to give us kind of the breakdown of all the player stats, all that stuff. First off, one thing I do want to applaud Arizona State for was last night in the Boise State game. You felt like you were, at least this is how I felt watching it. We were watching, and I was pulling for Boise State just as damn hard as I was pulling for Arizona State. Just a talent mismatch. You're talking about for Arizona State coming into the season, the last team in the Big 12 preseason poll, just fights their butts off and is able to get to the college football playoff and with a first round bye. Just wild turn of events. But we take a look at this, guys. Last night against Boise State, against Penn State, it felt like they were loading the box and saying, hey, we are not going to let Ashton Genty beat us. You're going to have to beat us throwing the ball. But it felt like Boise State they threw for sure. It wasn't like they completely avoided throwing, but there was a lot of parts of that game where they were just like, we're going to just grind it out. And it was like, guys, this team has such a talent difference that you are going to have to, your other guys are going to have to step up, going to have to make plays. And that's what I thought Arizona State did a great job of. You look here, guys, Cam Scatterbo ran 30 times this game. He ran a lot. But you look here, guys, Sam Levitt threw the ball 46 times this game. And that's not even counting all the times he tucked and run, which you look here, this 13 carries for 60 yards. I mean, awesome game by Sam Levitt. I think the passing stat line doesn't look amazing, but I really think, he wasn't the perfect quarterback, but he made play after play after play to keep them in this game. Don't get me wrong. Cam Scatterbo, ridiculous game. 30 carries, 143 yards, 4.8 yards a carry, 2 touchdowns. But I really liked Arizona State's their coaching decisions to not just force Cam Scatterbo every play. That's what Boise State did wrong. It was like, don't force him to just grind and grind and grind. Take what they're giving you, and if you can get some plays throwing the ball, abracadabra, alakazam, all of a sudden you're able to run the ball because they can't load 8-9 guys in the box. And so I thought that was a really good call. Quinn Ewers, great game too, 20 for 30, 322 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick. A lot of good here, guys. And then Cam Scatterbo, I mentioned the rushing, but also receiving, 8 receptions, 99 yards. Cam Scatterbo was clearly the star of the game. Sam Levitt made some huge plays, but Cam Scatterbo lived up to the hype. And even against a talent mismatch team for team, he was able to just churn out yards. It looked rough early on, but it always does with running backs, especially if there's a talent gap. But as the game got going, you saw, the talent of Cam Scatterbo start to stick out and really impress you. I was thoroughly impressed with what he did today. I'd say the defense for Arizona State, it's tough to give them too much hate because they were out there. They were doing the best they could. Texas has one of the most high-powered offenses in all of college football. This is a big money blue blood team that has a top 10, top 15 recruiting class almost every single year. This is a very big talent gap between Arizona State and Texas. And I thought, Arizona State stood in there strong and did a great job with what they were able to do. In a second here, I'll give you guys my final thoughts, what I think this means for the Big 12, what I think this means for the college football playoff moving forward, and then we'll close it out. Okay, guys. Final thoughts on this game. Before I give you guys my final thoughts, smash that like button if you guys appreciate the content, whether you're a Utah fan, Big 12 fan, Arizona State fan. Ton of love to the Arizona State fans if you're watching this. You guys really represented well the Arizona State team. You guys were all over that arena. That was really awesome. So good for you guys. I remember, also comment, what are you guys thinking? And subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I want to know what everyone's feeling right now when they were watching that. When Utah played Arizona State, I remember thinking, "Damn, this Cam Scattaboo guy is a special player." There were times where we had him dead to rights in the backfield. He would break a tackle, make something happen, and keep the drive alive. Like, and that doesn't happen against Utah a ton. Utah is like a Penn State esque type of team where you're not going to just grind us into, like, you're not going to make us make tons of sloppy mistakes. That's not how you're going to beat us. You're not going to, at least you're very unlikely to beat us with missed tackles, but that is not what happened. Cam Scattaboo came after us, broke a ton of tackles, looked awesome. And so, I think all of us knew, Utah fans at least knew Arizona State was legit. And I'm not surprised that they wound up winning the Big 12. And then, what was I going to say? And then Sam Levitt looked awesome too when they played Utah. Like, his ability to scramble out of the pocket and make big plays was very, very impressive. There were multiple times where we had guys ready to take him down. I mean, those two players, Sam Levitt and Cam Scattaboo, have been warriors for this team and really kept Arizona State in some games that they had no business being in. So super impressed, guys. Super impressed with Arizona State. And I think at the end of the day, this was such a good look for the Big 12. That they, like, a lot of people have Texas as the number 3 team, right? That Texas was the number 3 team in the CFP. That it was, Oregon, Ohio State, whatever order you want to put those two in, and then there's Texas, right? And Texas is one of the most talented teams in the country. And Arizona State went toe to toe with them and had them 4th and 13 in overtime. Damn, being an Arizona State fan right now, I feel for you guys. That is a heartbreaker. That is a tough go. And you had them, and it just, sometimes it doesn't swing your way. I didn't like that play call, the all out blitz on 4th and 13. I get it. I just didn't like it. Yeah, tough go there, guys. To Arizona State fans, I'm sorry you guys weren't able to pull it off. It was an awesome look for your program. That is going to do wonders in the recruiting trail and the donors and boosters giving you guys money to fund your NIL. It's going to do wonders. Just for the look for the Big 12, it's great. So good on you guys. I want to know what you guys are thinking. Like the video, comment down below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'm out. Go Utes. Go Big 12.